Let's quickly revise accrued income and prepaid expenses. Accrued income, you are actually entitled to that income, but you haven't received it as yet. And prepaid expenses, you have already paid for something, but you haven't received the benefit of the service or whatever you've paid it for as yet. So you should be able to know what is the correct treatment of accrued income and prepaid expenses in the financial statements. Now, remember for this, we have to refer you back to the one basis on which accounting is actually based on, and that is accrual accounting. What is the accrual basis of accounting? It says we do not recognize transactions on a cash basis. What does that mean? Income is not recognized when it's actually received and expenses are not recognized when they're paid. Instead of that, we are using the accrual basis, which actually means that income is recognized when it is earned and expenses are recognized when it is incurred. So that is the one that we're using, and that is the one that you have to apply. Now, accrued income and prepaid expenses are current assets, and you will see that we are going to group that in our note of trade and other debtors, and it will be shown in the line item on the face of the statement of financial position as an other debtor. So we have a line item, trade debtors, trade and other debtors, and that will form part of other debtors. Now, accrued income, let's have a look at this. If it's an income that we've already earned, but we haven't received the cash as yet, so we will debit accrued income at year end, which is an asset, and we will credit the income account, so that is going to have an impact on our profits for the year. Let's take an example. Let's say that we are renting out some premises to somebody. That person has only paid us for 11 months of the year. Our financial year end is 31 December. Monthly rental income of R1,000. At year end, only 11 months of rent has been received. So we are entitled on the full amount. Accrued income statement of financial position debit, so it's an asset, an other debtor, and rental income will be credited with that other R1,000 for the last month that we are entitled on. Prepaid expenses, we have already paid the expense, but we haven't consumed the service as yet. So we're going to debit prepaid expenses and credit expenses as at year end. Example, we pay rates and taxes for January 2014 in advance at the end of December, which is our financial year end. So what are we going to do when we pay that? We're going to debit rates and taxes, expense account 320, credit bank 320. At year end, we're going to take it out of our expenses because we haven't received the service as yet. So we're going to debit prepaid expenses, which is an asset, R320, and we're going to credit our rates and taxes expense account, 320. So we're going to remove it out of our expenses, and obviously it's going to have an impact on our profits. Now, what is important that these kind of adjustments needs to be reversed on the first day of the next financial year. So it will become an expense then, and the asset will disappear. Or the accrued income, I'm going to recognize the income, or I've already recognized the income then. Hopefully accrued income will reverse automatically when I receive the amount that the guy is still owing me. Okay, now what is the impact of VAT? Now remember what we said, when does VAT kick in? VAT kicks in with an issue of a tax invoice. If in the absence of a tax invoice, the receiver of revenue asks you whether cash flow has taken place. So if your answer is yes, cash flow has taken place, then it means that we can claim the VAT. It's expenses, so we're going to claim the VAT. That means, in other words, that accrued income includes VAT because whoever is actually owing me the money has to pay me the VAT as well. And prepaid expenses will exclude VAT because when do I claim the VAT? When I make payment. So as soon as I make payment, I have claimed the VAT. So whatever is going to remain that I'm going to defer to the next period, the expense that I'm going to defer to the next period will be a VAT exclusive amount. We will do this example in due course.